What everybody's talking about, Little League World Series, and we've got a man who knows a lot about baseball, a lot about the Little League World Series, and we're very excited to talk to him, Mr. Orel Hershiser. Good morning, Orel.
Good morning.
How's everything going out in Williamsport this morning?
Oh, it's fantastic. We have a clear, beautiful blue sky day. I wish we were playing today. We just got to hold off Hurricane Irene, make sure it doesn't wash out the hopes of the Montana kids.
Exactly. That's what we're saying here. Before we really get into those Montana kids, I wanted to ask you about you're working with Subway on some cool stuff for baseball.
Yeah, the Subway Baseball's Designs Tour. Subway's been a sponsor of Little League since back in 2005, and what a great combination of healthy eating and Little League baseball and kids, and they have the Baseball Designs Tour. If people want to know more about it, go to subwaykids.com, and they're auctioning off baseballs autographed by celebrities with artwork by the kids on the balls. There's Ryan Howard, Jason Kidd, Jared Fogle, the Subway spokesperson, Katy Perry, Maroon 5. I've even got my own ball, so if people want to check it out. The money that they raise from the auction goes to the Urban Initiative to help build fields and buy equipment for kids in the inner city. But the kids in Montana will benefit from it too, and healthy eating is always good for everybody.
Yes, it is. What have you, you've obviously watched a lot of baseball, and Little League World Series, that's one of your favorite things. You really enjoy this.
It's probably my number one favorite thing. I got to come here when I was 12 years old. My dad was district administrator. He came for meetings, even though my team got knocked out in the districts. I got to come and continue to my love with baseball and Little League baseball. And then as a retired pitcher in 2000, got to come here and broadcast it right after retiring in 2000. And then have come back 6-7 times and been working for ESPN and covering this event. So I've got to do it right from the very beginning to the very end, to both champions, U.S. and international, and then the ultimate champion.
That's very cool. Why is it your favorite? What's the difference between working with the major leagues and the little leagues? Why is it so much more fun for you?
I think it gets you back to your roots. I think I'm always impressed with the kids' ability. I think they're unbelievably cute and impressive at the same time. I think when you come here, it's such a wholesome event. I think it's the most kids that you are around as far as the players and in the stands, the most families that you see. It's very affordable because the tickets are free, and just the whole atmosphere. Everybody, win or lose, ends up in a good mood. Everybody, win or lose, appreciates what the kids are trying to do out there on the field, and their effort and their passion and their smiles. And even when they're disappointed, it's something you want to rally around. And so it's just, and Little League Baseball does an absolutely amazing job under a microscope of everybody trying to design a game that's safe for kids and fair. And Little League Baseball has to come up with the rules to make this continue to be fair around the world and grow the game, and I think they do a great job. The leadership of Steve Keener and all of his soldiers around him have done a great job.
Excellent. We're talking to legendary pitcher Orel Hershiser right now. What do you think of this Montana team, Orel? Did you, when they came into the tournament, did you think there was a chance? Were they on your radar? At what point did you say, like, whoa, these kids are good?
Well, you knew anybody who made it this level was pretty good. And then you thought, if without the Keystone, Pennsylvania team that just lost last night to California and got knocked out, the team that Montana, is going to go up against, I think that this team from Montana would be the darlings of the tournament. I think, the kids from PA have drawn big crowds and they're locals. But without that team, the Montana team would be the darlings because of the whole small-town aspect, because of the Billings team that whole league was started by Brent Musburger's father. The fact that Brent's here and all the years he's dedicated to Little League, the fact that these kids have put on a great show, the Cole McKenzies and the Patrick Zimmer who will pitch for them. And then if you look at, who's been hitting and all the things that has been going on with this team, I love the fact that Ian Leatherberry has come through in the clutch, and Ben Askelson's home run. They go toe-to-toe with California, and then just all of a sudden, one pitch into the inning, bam, they're going to the finals, and they're going to the championship game. They have just surprised everybody.
This is a crazy story, and I haven't told this yet on the air, but when I was in high school, I was in a car accident when I just got my learner's permit, smashed into a minivan. A lady was driving in the back seat. She had her baby in a car seat. It was very scary. The baby that was in that car accident with me, Ian Leatherberry, I could have,
Wow.
like, my freaking him out as a child, nearly killing him in a car accident, probably made him what he is today. So you're welcome, Orel, for...
You made him tough.
Exactly.
He knew right then that he could survive, and he was tough, and he's out here performing under the big lights.
Exactly. He is doing it there. Do you recall a story, like, when was the last time you've seen a story at the Little League World Series like this, where there's kind of the darlings, as you say? I mean, has it been a while?
Well, the small town story where somebody has really done something like this. We've seen it, where kids have come that really have not been, advertised as having the most ability, and they haven't really won, though. They come in, they have their 3 games that are guaranteed by Little League, and they kind of go on their way, and it was kind of like, oh, that was real cute to see them play, and isn't it great that they made it through the regionals, and we're very fortunate. But to see a team that actually has a shot at the U.S. championship, they are 1 way away from the U.S., they're 2 away from the overall championship. I don't think we've seen something like this in a long, long time.
That's so cool.
And this is the first time that Montana as a state's appeared in the Little League World Series, and they went 2-0, which only 6 teams had ever done, and the last 4 to go 2-0 won it all, and these guys got a chance to do it.
It's incredible. I mean, everybody here in Billings is just so excited. I mean, that's all everybody can talk about. It's all anybody's talking about on Facebook, the news. I mean, it's just really kind of Little League World Series fever has just taken over Billings.
Well, it should. I mean, it's an exciting accomplishment, and anytime that you can rally around it as a community and know that these kids are really showing their wares, and they're very humble. They've been very good in their interviews. They've been outstanding on the field. When Askelson hit the home run, he dropped his head. He knew he crushed that ball. It didn't barely clear the fence. That ball almost, probably went 260, 270 feet. He put his head down. He ran like a professional, like a Scott Rowland that hits home runs and just gets around the bases. He didn't show up the other team. The way these kids have shaken hands and handled success has been outstanding.
Isn't there, was there some story, and I don't know if this was legitimate or if I just saw it somewhere quickly, but they said that the California kids didn't show up for the post-game interview after that? Is that normal? Was that...
I don't know if they did or not. Maybe they were a little bit crushed. The relationship between those teams is really close, and I think that they were playing their friends. Isn't this the team that they had the championship dorm, and they both were there at the regionals in San Bernardino, and they befriended each other, and they've said, wouldn't it be cool if we go to Williamsport, and now they've traveled together. So I'm not sure if they showed up or not. I would think that Little League wouldn't like that, and I also think that the California kids would be classy enough to be there. So maybe a few of them couldn't make it because of emotions, but I think, that would be a story to have to check into.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I want to ask, too, as a baseball player, I mean, you've been to the World Series. You were the MVP in '88 of the World Series. What's it like? I mean, obviously, it's got to be very different from playing in front of 40 people, at a Little League field here in Billings to playing in front of 40,000 people in Williamsport. I mean, what's the pressure difference like? Or do you just get in the zone and it's just, you do your thing?
It's there. It exists, and you have to learn how to deal with it. If the emotions and the energy are helping you and making you concentrate more, making you feel stronger, making you execute better, then you let that energy in. If it feels and it's creating anxiety, or if it's creating nerves that you can't deal with, then you have to find a way to block it out. You almost have to create a new reality for yourself. Maybe you put yourself back in Billings. Maybe you put yourself on a practice field. Maybe you put yourself throwing balls that don't really matter, but you can do it well, compared to giving it, relevance and giving it significance in your life. If that energy, when you think of that, makes you worse than you are, then you have to play tricks on yourself. And so the other thing that you have to deal with is noise. When the noise hits you, it is actually a physical feeling that it's kind of pounding through your chest when 40,000 people are cheering and you're down in a valley like you are here in Williamsport. So you have to deal with the noise and communication with your players and knowing how to do hand signals. But if you can get on a roll, you can take that energy from the stands and you can really feed it into your body. It can actually make you better.
That's great. Anybody, obviously we've got a lot of young kids on their way to school listening, Little League players that aren't in Williamsport here. Do you have any advice from somebody who's done what a lot of them want to do with their careers for the future MLB players out there?
Well, I think that all kids are can enjoy the game. I think they can try their hardest. I think they can work at whatever they have a passion for, and I think they can strive for all these goals and dream. And if those dreams lead them to working harder and to practicing and to doing a good job in their schoolwork so that maybe they can get a scholarship or continue on with their athletics, then that's what they should do, because all the skills that they learn in athletics, and especially baseball, for me, you can transfer those into your adult life and into your college life or your high school life. So work hard at it and have a passion for it and dedicate yourself to it, and then transfer those skills into the other things in life that can make you successful. There's nothing wrong with having passion.
Excellent. I agree. And there's obviously, you guys have to stay, you guys can't pick a team, right, that you'd want to win since you're...
Oh, I can, and I mean, I think Montana will be the darlings now. I think that the little kids from Japan will be the darlings on the international side. Pound for pound, these teams are kind of the smaller in stature compared to the California team and the Mexico team, and I think that kind of lends itself to the locals kind of gravitating towards them. And the Keystone fans, I think, are not going to go completely away. I think everybody says, oh, the crowds will drop off, and they probably will. We might lose 10,000, we might lose 15,000, but that still makes it down to 15 to 20,000 still coming out, and people love Little League Baseball. So there's going to be some fun, there's going to be some pressure, and there's going to be some good games.
Well, there we go. It's the legendary Mr. Orel Hershiser. You can see him on the Little League World Series Saturday at 1 p.m., hopefully congratulating our Big Sky boys for another win there. We'll see what happens. Orel, thanks so much for taking the time. And what's the website for the Subway thing again?
Make sure you go to subwaykids.com and check on the Baseball Designs Tour. You can bid on the balls, you can get more information, you can eat healthy. Subway's a great sponsor of Little League Baseball.
Excellent. Orel Hershiser, thank you so much for taking time for the Big J Show in Billings this morning. We appreciate it.
All right, good luck, Montana.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.